All right. Square root of 13 over 5. All right, so they want us to simplify square root of 13 over 5.
Wow.
What do they mean simplify? Like, what's wrong with it as it stands? Like, right, what's the problem? You can't ship anything out. There's not any 2-for-1s there, right? There's not, 5 doesn't go into 13, doesn't divide. So what's the problem? You can make it 2 separate, same thing. 1 big root, 2 separate roots, whatever, same thing. You know what it is? Have you seen this before? Rationalize the denominator. Taken algebra before? Rationalize the denominator.
Get rid of the root on the denominator.
Yeah, it means they don't like roots in the bottom. They don't want roots in the bottom of the fraction. So we have to get rid of the root from the bottom. That's the problem they're having. So whenever they say rationalize the denominator, it's fancy talk for no root in the denominator. And that's pretty much from this point forward. They're never going to want a root in the denominator of an answer. And that goes like if you go, I was doing some of that today with my pre-calculus students, right? We had roots in the bottom, I had to get rid of them. So we never leave roots in the bottom. So how do we get rid of that root in the bottom of the fraction? Multiply top and bottom by square root 5. Yeah, that is exactly. Now notice I'm doing the same thing to the top as I am to the bottom. Right? Same thing to the top as I am to the bottom, so nothing's going to change. Right? I'm not changing the problem. Right? I'm doing this with balance, same thing to the top and the bottom, so not going to change. On the top, can I multiply 5 times 13?
Yes.
Yeah, they're both insiders. Just use your calculator, 65. On the bottom, what's root 5, root 5?
5.
Plain 5. Right? Okay, great. Now, can I divide 5 into 65?
No.
Why not? Different worlds, huh? Different worlds. This is in the root. This is out. So we're actually done right there. What did we do? We got rid of the root from the bottom. See how there's no root in the bottom? Somebody have a calculator? I want to know the decimal. What's the root of 65 over 5? Somebody have that? I'm guessing it's like 1 point something.
Hold on.
What is it?
It's 3.605.
1.36?
No, 3. Yeah.
Is it?
Here.
Let me think for a second.
Look.
2 square root of 2 is no, it's 1 point something. Yeah. 1 point.
That's what that says.
Okay, look close. What's the difference between yours and mine? You have the bottom and the root. So what is it? 1.612. Yeah. So you guys getting that? So notice that 5's not in the root. So you can't put a root over the whole fraction. Right? That 5's not in a root. Okay, now what's the original one? What's the one we started with? So then that the whole thing's in there, right? So put the whole thing in there. What's the root of 13 over 5? I'll tell you.
That's how you know you got your answer right.
What's that?
That's how you know you got your answer right then?
Yeah, I'm just pointing out that we haven't really changed the number. That's what I wanted to emphasize for you. You don't have to put down, the decimal is not part of the answer. I hope I'm not confusing you. That you don't have to type in the decimal is not part of the answer. But I wanted you to see that we haven't changed the value. We've only changed the way it looks. Does that make sense? They're both still 1.612, whatever. But what did we do? We got rid of the root from the bottom, huh? Right? Because what did we do? We multiplied same thing top and bottom. That's a fancy 1. The value doesn't change when you multiply by a fancy 1. It just looks different.
Okay, we'll do.
Whoops, that's it. Yeah. Try that one. Rationalize that denominator.
So we can keep it.
So what are we going to do? We're going to get rid of that root from the bottom. So multiply by root 2 over root 2. That good to there? And that's going to be root of 30. What about the bottom? Root 2, root 2? Plane 2. Can I divide 2 into 30 there? Because they're different worlds. And so that's the answer right there. What did we do? We got rid of the root from the bottom. Because that root over the whole fraction meant it was over both. It was over the top and it was over the bottom on that. Have you guys had enough? Is that it for you? All right. That might have been it for you a few minutes ago.